It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's the Loop Guys.
Howdy, everybody. We've all heard of the Commander-in-Chief, the President. But today, we are talking about the Commander-in-Sweat. Which president has the best workout routine? We're going to get into each workout routine as best as we can with the evidence we found on Google. And we're going to talk about it. Any thoughts to start? Tom?
I'm pretty excited. We get to really find out which president was really fit for office and who was really rocking out the red, white, and reps out there for our boys.
Mm-hmm. So we got to get right into the first president we're going to look at. And you may have heard of him, George Washington, the man who cut down a cherry tree as a child, the man who crossed the Delaware, the man who fought the Brits and won us our independence. The man, the myth, the legend, George Washington.
Good old George.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact about George, when we were actually doing some of the research about this, I was just like, oh, you know what? I wonder what George called himself back then. You know, everybody's got nicknames. George called himself the Town Destroyer, which I just found wild. I needed to throw that out there. And the Town Destroyer's favorite thing to do for exercise? Dancing. You think you know a guy. He dances.
The man was such a good dancer that from what I saw, like he was like the best dancer around. He was very serious about it. He did not joke around with his dancing. He can rule any room or any dance room. And it was pretty fantastic. He was energetic. He was excellent at dancing. Some of the other things that he used to do were also horseback riding. He was a surveyor and would oversee his estate in Mount Vernon. Had a lot of riding, fox hunting, wrestling, archery, and swimming. And most important, aside from dancing, he chopped some wood. That man knew how to cut down a tree, and he knew how to chop some wood and put it in the fireplace.
He also knew how to put it in his mouth and make some dentures.
That's true.
Overall, true outdoorsman. Working out maybe wasn't the biggest thing to do back then. And working out, I should more so say in our modern terms of going to the gym and lifting weights. Like we weren't catching George benching 315, even though we know we probably could. It was more like outdoors work. You got your regular, like everyday workout by doing the regular everyday things because we didn't have the luxurious life that we had. You want to be warm, you got to go cut the wood. You want to eat, you got to go hunt and go fishing. So George got his workout in by doing the everyday things, but he just loved to end the day with a nice dance. Got his cardio in. Overall, Dr. Aaron, what do you think of the workout routine?
Well, I mean, it actually has a lot of good stuff, and he's using his muscles in a lot of different ways. Wrestling in particular is one that sticks out to me. Just the trunk control, the power you're going to have. Like, if you ever do any wrestling, jiu-jitsu, anything like that, you can tell a person that's experienced with it just because they're so strong. So strength, also cardio, like you have to have great cardio to be a good wrestler. On top of cardio, also swimming. Swimming's also a very good cardio. It takes a little bit of stress off the joints as well. And one that a lot of people don't think of as a big cardio thing is actually horseback riding. Horseback riding, just trying to keep yourself on that horse going over a lot of different terrains, is a lot more tiring than you might think. So cardio-wise, I actually think very good. Even fox hunting. If you're going to hunt a fox, don't forget, people, you're going to have to run after that fox, and you're going to have to find it. And then you kill it, of course. But it's going to be a lot of cardio. He doesn't really have any strength training or anything that seems like it. You can argue that chopping some wood could be some strength training. That still is a little bit cardio-y because you do it for so long. Even dancing, a little bit cardio-y. The good thing he does do, too, is just balance and coordination stuff. I mean, all of the things that we talked about here are just a bunch of balance and coordination.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of balance, a lot of coordination. Chopping wood, it's a good core workout. It's great stability. The one thing that he did lifting-wise was he did carry our nation into its first ever victory, so we'll give him that one. But overall, a lot of cardio back in this workout routine, which is fantastic. Cardiovascular health, that keeps you moving, it keeps you young. It's fantastic.
There's a reason they say George Washington calves. It's because George Washington had the nicest calves of all the presidents. That's a fact.
Yeah, you could Google it.
What do you think, Joe? Should we go to the next president that we're looking into?
I think first we should say if we approve or disapprove of this workout routine.
Believe it or not, I think I do approve. What do you think, sir?
I'll give it the Glucose approval seal. I think overall it's really good. Outdoorsy, you're outside, you're in nature. It's got a mixture of sport with the wrestling and the dancing. It's got a mixture of, just the everyday life activities, and it's a great way to stay healthy and active.
Yeah, I think a thing that's very good about it is it's very fun and it's something that he could stay consistent with. And that is something that a lot of people take for granted, that it's not always easy to stay consistent. So if you find stuff that you like to do, you should do that stuff. Then you'll be more consistent and be in better shape. And have George Washington calves.
Exactly. Go cut some. Stop climbing trees. Cut them down.
So in short, George Washington's routine is approved. And right now, of all the ones we've went through, even though he's the only one, he had the best routine.
Number one.
All right, on to the next one. That was not supposed to happen. Now we do this. That was not supposed to happen either. Thanks for being a
lot of not supposed to happen things.
Yep, cut that out at 5 minutes or 6:30. Thomas Jefferson, the third president. So, Thomas Jefferson, it was really tough to find specifically what his exercise routine was, but he was a huge advocate for exercise and recreation, such as like just getting out of the house, doing stuff out of the house. He was really big in horseback riding as well. This time, again, at this point, people horseback rode all the time, just like George Washington that we were just talking about. He would actually gallop down Pennsylvania Avenue, which is the street right in front of the White House. And in those days, if you saw the president riding a horse down the street, he had to stop. So good old Thomas Jefferson could just ride down the street and just go right through everything, really.
First of all, fantastic first name. Every Thomas I know is actually a really great guy. So just take that as you will. You can think about that. But horseback riding, like we said before with old George, it's fantastic cardio. It takes a lot of control, a lot of stability. I like the all gas, no brakes mentality of just, this is my road, my land. I'm going to just keep driving down. Traffic laws, I guess, weren't a thing. But what I am curious about overall, Aaron, is, how do you know the president is coming? Like back then, there wasn't like, the big motorcades and stuff that we have now. Like, if there's just a wild dude on a horse with a powdered wig just hauling it down Pennsylvania Ave, how do I know that's the president and that I have to stop?
When someone's riding down the street and they have a bunch of other horses and stuff around them with guns and things like that, I would assume that they're probably important. So I would probably just get out of the way. Be like,
granted, yeah, but like
he's a bigwig.
It just made me think about it overall.
I think that he's probably a very famous guy. Like people like that live around there probably know what he looks like, and they probably have like paintings and pictures of stuff around of him. Like they did have newspapers and things, so I would imagine that he was a recognizable person, being the president.
Yeah, I mean, true, but still, I mean, he's moving on a horse. How can he? I mean, if the horse is really hauling it down Pennsylvania, horses go at 45 miles an hour. 40 miles an hour.
I don't know if he'd be sprinting the whole time though. I think he'd be like on a little gallop. Like a gallop isn't like a sprint. Gallop's like a trot, isn't it? No, trot's faster than a gallop.
I'm not sure, but you know what? When I die, the very first thing I'm going to do is walk right up to good old TJ and say, "Hey, how fast did you haul it down Pennsylvania Ave?" Either way.
Actually, another thing that I saw, sir, is that he actually recommended 2 hours of exercise daily, which is a lot.
So he was better than us today when we're only recommending. Isn't like they're giving it's 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week?
Yeah, something like that. So it's really not that much
Yeah.
comparatively. Like that's an odd thought that the amount of exercise you need actually went down. And it does show that we can be a lot more active and still be very healthy and not hurt ourselves.
I think we need to take a page out of TJ's book over here and start to do what he was doing. I feel like it might help a lot of the health problems and stuff that we might see nowadays. We just got to get moving more. Maybe not 2 hours. That could be aggressive. Of course, if you're older, please don't, you want to exercise to your routine. But, I think it's just overall a good message is that we might need to just move a little bit more.
We got to keep our bodies active. And, exercise doesn't always have to be like a strenuous workout. It could just be walking more, riding your horse in the backyard, going for a bike ride. Bikes are probably
Or
more
hauling it down
now.
Pennsylvania Ave.
Bikes are probably more common now than horses, as far as I can tell. It's tough to say. Like we said, we really didn't see a lot of stuff on Jefferson's routine. He also did some swimming. But I think the biggest thing is just developing strength. Like having some strength training routine is what he doesn't have. That being said, if I had to choose between a lot of Americans' exercise routine, which is pretty much nothing compared to Thomas Jefferson, 2 hours a day of just cardio, I'll take the 2 hours a day. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to improve this one, Sarah. What do you think?
I like the idea that he put out there like 2 hours of exercises.
Yeah.
I might not fully agree with that because I think that might be aggressive. I just like the overall message of like, hey, get out there and move. And who knows? Exercise back then to them might have been like we just said. Like it could just be like, hey, go for a walk or get out and get moving. He might just mean like be moving for 2 hours a day at least, which a lot of us I feel like we do too. So I'll probably give this one the disapproval. I'll probably say he didn't really seem to have a crazy routine. We'll take the message and put him below good old Georgie.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an incomplete, I think. Like it's not bad, but it's not like it needs more.
If we had to pick between the two, though, whether we're approving or disapproving, I would say disapprove just because it's not complete. That gets the disapproval.
All right, let's get on to the next person. We got here John Quincy Adams, the 6th president of the United States. And one thing we know about John Quincy Adams is that he was part fish. The man loved to go swimming. The man would go do a 2-mile walk to the Potomac River, swim, and then do a 2-mile walk back to the White House or wherever he used to live. And
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I think that somewhere I read his record was a day of, or not a day, like 1 hour of swimming without touching the ground. But it's pretty good. I'd be happy with that.
That is pretty good overall. Swimming is a fantastic overall exercise routine. It's pure cardio, but also you're getting some resistance with the water, so you get some resistance training in there as well. I was a swimmer from year 5 of my life all the way up to 18, and it kept me in shape. I do like this a lot.
Yeah, I think similar to our last guy, TJ. It probably could use more strength training, but honestly, depending on how you use the swimming, if you do sprints in the water, like you go actually pretty quick in the water, you're going to work on some more strength and power. So you could be doing some of that stuff. Although it seems like for him, he was a little bit more like leisurely, take a dip, do some swimming around, don't let your feet touch the ground, maybe some bobbing and weaving.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar to TJ, though. It's a little bit incomplete.
Well, one thing yes, of course, it is a little incomplete, but I do have a fun fact for you, Doctor, and I'm not sure if you knew it back then. Back then, swimming trunks weren't very common.
Oh.
So, if you were exercising while swimming, you were butt naked. Fun fact about John Quincy Adams over here, he liked to exercise by swimming, and he was just doing it butt naked.
So, Dr. Tom, it's like the time that we went swimming and I looked over and you were butt naked in the ocean.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly that. That never happened, by the way. I need to put that out there.
It did never happen, but now everybody who watches is going to think for at least 10 seconds. Wow, Dr. Tom's a
Yeah,
nude swimmer.
for half a second. Exactly.
But overall, I actually think I would approve this exercise routine more so than TJ there because he's getting his walking in, he's getting a good swim in. I still think he needs strength training. Maybe I don't approve it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I feel like strength
I
training is the big thing that's missed for both of these routines.
I don't know. I feel like I would approve of it because even though it's like you might not be doing strength training, like he's getting out there, he's walking. I'm sure he's moving and picking stuff up throughout the day. The swimming is also resistive in a way because you need to fight the actual water resistance. So I do like it. And there was many years in my life where like when I was a swimmer, I didn't really weight train. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could tell I was very skinny, but overall, I would give it the approval. I think it's good.
What do you think? You think? I mean, I do like it more than. What do you think? You think? I mean, wait, how did I just hear myself? But I do like it more than TJ. I think we could give it the approval. I think we can go for it. Well, people, it seems like we might have lost Dr. Tom, and I'm hearing myself double. So we will continue this. I think that overall, what Dr. Tom was saying before he somehow got cut off here, I think we're going to approve John Quincy Adams. The sixth president swam like a fish and had a decent routine. With that, everybody, we're going to call it a day. We are going to get into more presidents as we go on, but we got a lot to go. So if you're interested, put it in the comments. Oh, wait. Dr. Tom is back.
I am back, and I know that we were closing it out. I had a little bit of a hiccup right there. Just catch me up real quick. Did you end up agreeing with me and approving?
We ended up approving, sir. It's back to just me and you on the screen here. I approve. I mean, it's not perfect. I do still think it needs more strength training. However, it is a good routine for most people. If everyone did this every day, we'd probably have more in shape people in the U.S. So
yeah, overall, like I said, I think it's still a good routine minus the strength training. You can add that in there too, of course, but overall, I think it's good.
Yeah. So, like I was saying before, Dr. Tom came back, we are going to get into even more presidents, but today we're just sticking with these three. And let us know in the comments what other presidents you want us to talk about, their routine, or if you think we miss anything with these guys, because we would love to hear it. History is so much fun. Good night, everybody.
That's good.